Russell Senior.
Oh, hi there. You all right? Yes. You'll be the Scandinavian film crew then?
He's always my fair dad.
Do come in. Get the kettle on then, eh? This is tea, my daughter. This is suburbia. This is like boring suburbia. It's not really anything to do with the music. I guess it's where you come if you've made a bob or two. You won't get many good bands coming off of this road here. They'll all be in the grimy part, which is where we'll go later.
She was 2 years older, and she had boys in her room. And listen outside, I heard her. All right.
When I was in the band for a long time, so that was most of my adult life doing that. And then after leaving it, I've sort of dabbled at other bits of music. I don't want to be on stage anymore. I think you should be banned from being on stage when you're 40. It's quite embarrassing, really. I do little bits of production and work with some local bands, but mainly just try and have a nice life, because it was quite hectic in the band and you didn't get to do much else other than that or focus on it. So I just do nice things. I pick a lot of things from the woods. These, you see, mushrooms. Get them from the woods, along with other things, apples and such like. The thing about Sheffield music, despite it being quite a grim city, the music has always got a little bit of glamour some way or another. Got its grim here, so we're going to be spangly and pop star and cheesy, you know? So I think we always had this, there's always a bit of glamour about it somehow or other. The place where we came from was quite a grim sort of place, and you just wanted to get out of it and not have to go follow your father into the steelworks. You know, you see your father coming home from these things all tired and mucky and think, I don't want to do that. You know, I want it like, you know, like it is somewhere else. I don't want to be going in a factory. There was this intensely glamorous world that you saw on the telly of people in bands, and you just thought, wow, wouldn't that be brilliant? So that's what we did, really. I think the Arctic Monkeys are just as Sheffield as you can get, aren't they? I mean, their accents. I'm surprised even their school friends can understand their accents. They're so... they're very Sheffield. And it was funny, actually. I sent this place we're going to later, Alan's My Studio, where we recorded the sessions that got them signed. I sent a tape of it, or a CD of it, to Jarvis because he wanted to do a thing on Sheffield music, and he said, well, it's rubbish, it's too Sheffield for its own good, and they just sound like the Libertines or something like that. So he wouldn't play it on his show because he thought it was too Sheffield. But it almost, again, it's the underdog coming through. You know, it's not somebody from LA that walks in and thinks they're the business and all that. It is somebody that, I bet when they're in a hotel, they still steal the little soaps because they think it's all going to end. And I bet when they're at a premiere of something, they'll, you know, because they think they'll have that idea that they're going to be thrown out quite soon. And I think they've got that about them, and I like that, the fact that they do think, like, how have we done this? Like, you know, the master's going to come and chuck us out in a minute. I think we're all bored of each other. It's like we'd all heard each other's anecdotes 100 times. Things really started grating. There was also a north-south divide in the band, in that there were some of the people in the band were living in London, and we were sort of like northerners, and they were like, yeah, okay, I'm you know, they were like really into the London thing. And it started seeming a bit bogus, a bit artificial, being all like, all right, northern, and yet the real like London trendies. About the time of Common People, it started seeming like it was a joke, really, because we were like leading this glamorous lifestyle, and yet the songs were all about things that, you know, weren't a part of our lives anymore. We're like writing about chip shops and things like that. I think, what? You know, what are you going on about? You know, it just seemed irrelevant, really. And I never thought it'd last as long as it did, really. I think it should be over in a bang, and then you go and do something else, really. They make steel things here, and it makes a lot of noise, so a band can make as much noise as it like. This studio here is Al Smythe's place. Just be quiet, because they might record. You in the... Hello? Hello? You're not in the middle of a take. Can we come in? Yeah. Oh. This is Monkey Swallows the Universe.
Who are you?
How have they got in here?
Interested in that.
That's for the future. I guess it'll keep happening while you have a distinctive culture caused by like separation from the outside world, and so you have to make things internally. There's always a bit of a scene that doesn't give a damn, and is just doing its own weird thing in its own weird way. And I think that's always been the strength of music here, is that people are prepared to not just copy their idols, to try and make their own statements, really. I think we're in a bit of an in-between period. I don't think there'll be another raw indie Arctic Monkeys. I don't think anybody could do it better than them. I think the next thing that comes from Sheffield will probably be from this kind of scene.